Now, the making of a good compilation tape is a very subtle art, many do's and don'ts.
Let's make a playlist.
First of all, you're using someone else's poetry to express how you feel. This is a delicate thing.
Let's make a playlist.
You gotta kick it off with a killer to grab attention. Then you gotta take it up a notch. But you don't want to blow your wad, so then you gotta cool it off a notch. There are a lot of rules.
No rules here. This is Let's Make a Playlist with Jonathan Howe.
Have you ever found your musical match? That perfect flame that complements your tastes while sharing the same core sounds that pull you into a song in the first place. Maybe it doesn't just stop at the music you listen to, but what you can create. And what if you and the musical match you make can go beyond what you create for yourselves and establish something to celebrate and honor and give light to those creatives around you, building brands that are rooted in the community but offer the chance to reach beyond. Together, you can take on the music industry, start a band, start a PR company, and even start a label. My name is Jonathan Howe, and this is Let's Make a Playlist, the podcast where I welcome musicians and creatives to explore the music that shaped them in a 12-song journey. Today, my solo mission welcomes two guests this week, Kris Goetz and Nolan Jodes of Lonely Little Kitsch. The two-piece band inspired by the Kills isn't the only project those two find themselves entangled in. Kris and Nolan are both committed to supporting and amplifying indie music and indie artists, especially those from within the Niagara region. That led them to create From the Straight, a website and PR service featuring interviews and video content and playlists. They didn't just stop at the PR game either. They have their own record label now, Swear Word Records, created to release their own tunes. They've since expanded and are doing what they can to properly release the music of the bands they love and call friends. If all this seems overwhelming, as you'll be able to tell by our conversation, it is. But they do it for the love of the game, or in this case, the music. Lonely Little Kitsch have a new single coming April 23rd. The track is titled Somewhere Else, and the band has full plans for a full album release in the not too distant future. We get into that and the mistakes that bands make when submitting their music for PR and for press. Kris Goetz, Nolan Jodes, Let's Make a Playlist. Joining me on Let's Make a Playlist, we've got Nolan Jodes, Kris Goetz of Lonely Little Kitsch. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. We've been battling through the technical issues, but we are rolling now, and it's good to have you on and good to get to chat about all things music and all things Lonely Little Kitsch. So I have to ask again, how are things going with the band? And I guess talk to me about where things started and what's coming down the pipeline.
Okay, so let's see.
We'll fast forward. It started in COVID.
Yeah.
And we had like a studio, like a kind of a studio built in our attic.
Yeah, it was a music room.
Kristen was learning to play bass, and she's got like this fantastic voice, and she's always coming up with songs and melodies and stuff like that. And I just kind of thought, like, why don't we just do that? And I think we started with a couple of covers that we posted for, when everyone was doing those.
We did, but you tricked me. That's what you're missing from this story. You tricked me. Because I would sing around the house. I don't sing in front of people. I never used to sing in front of people. But we live together, so it's inevitable. And he started sort of playing some covers on the couch and just getting me to sing along. And I thought nothing of it until one day he's like, oh, we're going to record one. I was like, why? Why would we record one? Like a video recording. He's like, oh, we're going to post it. No, we are not. We are not going to post this, but we did. And then from there, we were writing some joke songs and then some more serious songs. But I never actually thought we were going to put anything out until he's like, yeah, we're going to start putting songs out. Because he tricked me. But here we are.
Yeah, it just kind of ended like, I think we ended up we posted like the Northern Pikes, and we did the Odds tune, and then we did a Constantine's cover, and then that just kind of went from there. When we moved into this house, we always had the idea to turn the basement into like a makeshift studio. Our first single kind of started as a joke.
I think everything we do starts as a joke
Much, yeah.
until somebody takes it seriously, and then it's like, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, you can. Absolutely.
Okay. And it's like, oh shit. So everything comes from an oh shit, and then we find ourselves in bands and different things.
Yeah. For the first single, just I kicked around on GarageBand. I figured out that Dan Romano's brother, Ian, he's like kind of a drummer for hire from time to time. And we contacted him and basically I was like, hey, like, this is the demo we have for a song. We don't have a live drummer. We didn't really anticipate being a live band at all. And I said, I'm feeling like this kind of vibe. And he was like, yeah, no problem. Next day, he sent me back like the drum tracks, and I just put them back in the old GarageBand and re-recorded over that. Sent them off to Kenny Meehan, who's also part of the outfit. We had it mixed, and that's the first single out of the way. And we literally didn't think anyone was going to listen to it or give a shit, to be honest. And
because we didn't.
Yeah. We just thought it was like a cool accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And then we put out a song that we recorded in our basement.
Happy accident, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Totally.
So, Nolan, with your experience playing in bands and stuff before, what were those bands like in comparison to Lonely Little Kitsch in terms of like how songs are written, in terms of, I guess, your contributions and how things have changed now that you're doing things with Kris? And I imagine that maybe, I don't know if you had female vocalists in any of your prior projects, but I'm sure things definitely changed having that kind of voice to write to and write with.
You know what? So, backing up, like I was in the band called the Weather Wild, which was kind of like an alt country outfit. We did pretty well. Like we sold out venues here in Niagara. We played a bunch of Toronto shows and stuff. That was with a couple of people that went on to be in the minimum wage with me, and then a couple of people that are now in Deerfang. I think Jay and Lauren. We were all in a band got together, kind of thing. And the writing for that was not as collaborative. Like we kind of like Jay would have an idea for a song that he kind of like some chords, and I'd put like a melody down, and then I'd come with like a chords and some songs, and then Lauren put her violin in and stuff like that. And it just, that was interesting, but it was always like there's just too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing, right? The minimum wage, on the other hand, was like Sandro played in the minimum wage played in the Weather Wild with me. He played the pedal.
Too many 3-word bands that you have.
Totally. He played pedal steel, and the dude is like just a musical savant. And
shout out to Sandra.
Right. And we just kind of had this idea of like, again, we'll back and forth some tunes and see how it goes. And same thing, like they just kind of took on a life of their own. And then we needed to get a live band because we were like, fuck, COVID's over. Let's try jamming. But with Kris, it's just so much easier because
I live here.
Because I think she's so good at coming up with melodies, and her voice is so lovely that like no matter what shitty guitar riff I come up with, she makes it good. You know what I mean? Which is anything you could possibly ask for, because I think I'm
so much to say that.
I think I'm fucking Johnny Rockstar here, coming up with like 3-chord tunes, and then she's coming up with these great melodies that make it sing, right? It's very easy. A wonderful musician, and couldn't be happier.
So Kris, I gotta ask, how many times does Nolan bring you something and you're just not feeling that vibe? Are there times where there's something that you gravitate to more compared to other times, or are you somebody who can find kind of a melody in anything?
I think generally I find a melody in anything, and it's actually a really annoying thing because I do this. I don't just do this when he's playing guitar. I sing songs over other people's songs. It's constant. But yeah, I mean, generally, honestly, most of our songs kind of are happy accidents. We'll just be sitting in the living room and he'll be noodling on the guitar. We're meaning to do something else or finish another song. And he'll just, find 3 chords that sound good together or something. And I'll just start humming something along or singing about our dogs or something stupid. And from there, usually it's like, wait a minute, was that something? Oh shit, that was something. Damn it, we're never going to finish our old songs. So that's, the problem is having too many, because it's, like I said, we live together. So the chances for coming up with new songs is unfortunately sometimes a bit too easy. But yeah, there haven't been too many that
I can tell when you're not vibing it is because there's no vocals coming from her side. I'm just like, I'll be playing and then
depends on my mood too. If I'm, mopping floors and you're like, hey, you like that one? Listen, dude, I don't have time for this right now. So it depends what else is going on. But, sometimes I'll be like, please record that and let me listen to it at a later date.
Yeah. Like the song Cinderella.
See? But yeah, generally it's a little too easy. So
So something else that I can imagine may have been a tricky thing to navigate was going from cover songs to kind of developing your own sound because, for everybody, it's easy to draw influence, but it sounds like from a lot of the covers that you were doing, starting with Sloan and Odds and sort of that sort of thing, it feels somewhat different from what you guys are doing now in my eyes and what I hear from you guys as a band. So what are the true influences behind Lonely Little Kitchen, where you guys like to go with your songs and your sound?
Well, I think one of the big parts of how we do what we do is that when we go into making a new song, we don't have any expectations, because there's nothing that I hate more than when a band's like, oh, I'm going to become this sound, and that's what every song is going to do, and I'm going to warp things until I think it sounds like that sound. When the easiest thing to do is just create a song, let it come to you how it's going to, and that's your sound. And we kind of go with whatever comes out, and not every song fits squarely within the same genre, but we like that. Like, it's all under an alt rock, indie rock umbrella, but then some songs are a little more mellow, some songs are a little more poppy, punky, garage bandy. I mean, yeah, we kind of don't we don't put too many, like,
I think that's one of the benefits of having and we've seen like your records of the day and stuff like that. Like, so like you have a pretty diverse musical taste as well, right? And so do we. And I think that's like, it's so easy to draw from fucking, whatever, like the 70s music to funk to like pop music, and like we both love like glam rock still, and 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 the grunge era and the 90s were very much so like so much pulling from everything. As far as like influential bands, I mean that's so hard too, because there's so many of them. But I would say that she's wearing the Kills shirt right now. The Kills is just a band that I'm just utterly blown away by all the time. Amy Hitz is like the most like unsung guitar player in the world right now. Like,
well, they're also another example of a two-piece band that can play alone and do their thing, but then can also play with a full band. So we kind of aim to do that too, because a lot of what we do is just the two of us, but then we have the guys in our band that are part of some things and not part of others. And so we like to be able to do all of it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice for us to be able to play as a duo and then with a full band sort of thing. So it's, we're always we're always interested in bands that are, I don't know, just making it happen, like doing their thing.
Something different.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that answers the question.
No, I think that gives me
know is the answer.
No, it gives me a good perspective.
Yeah, it's like Inbreds, I think, were like one of the first bands that I remember in the 90s that did the two-person band. And like, I think that was a case of like, everyone was like, you can't be a band with two people. That's ridiculous. And they did, and they
but
fucking
especially now you can, because you can automate everything.
Yeah, well, like,
although we've shown that we're really bad at technology.
Well, you're diverse at the very least, and that's awesome and much appreciated. So one more thing on the Lonely Little Kitsch side of things before we move past to something else I want to ask you guys about. What's down the pipeline? And I know you've been in the studio. There's a single coming, maybe more or less. Anything that you can reveal to us that might be on the horizons?
Yes, that's the answer is yes. We do have a single coming out on April 23rd. And it's a little different. We have an album that we're still finishing, and we've had a lot of delays. The album should have come out last year, maybe even the year before, but things happen, things get delayed, and personnel changed. So yeah, an album is coming, but the problem, again, because we have so many songs, is that we already have an EP planned for after that, and now an EP for after that. So we've got the album and 2 more EPs probably, and then we will be dead. I think that's the order of operation. We don't have anything more. Well, because it'll take us like 20 years to do that.
Yeah, well, that's the record is it's all but done. I think we just have to go in and put some vocals on the last 2 tracks.
Sure, believe me.
And then get the final 2 mixed, and then I think it's very cool. It's kind of like a anthology of all the singles and a couple of new songs that people haven't heard. And the new single is actually an old single. We recorded it like last year. I think it was maybe around the same time that the other Tough Tunes came out.
Yeah, the song coming out in a couple of weeks is it's one of the first ones we ever wrote. So it's old, and we played it at every show, but we never planned to release it as a single, but we had it ready to go because we were working on the album. It was just supposed to be an album song, but because everything's taking so long, we're like, shit, we'll put it out as a single and see how it goes. I mean, it goes over well live.
And if people have heard it, dig it. So it's
it's a little bit different. It's a little different, but we like that. We don't want people to expect the same song over and over from us because that is fucking boring.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we try
completely
not to be
get
boring.
that.
Yeah.
So the other side of your kind of lifestyle in music that I find so fascinating is having From the Straight. So talk to me a little bit about how and when that got going and what that project really looks like in terms of covering music and promoting music, not just locally, but, you know, bands from kind of across the world seem to be reaching out to you guys at times.
You remember how it started?
Yeah, I think we're literally just, I want to say it was a little bit of just pillow talk where we were kind of like, we were talking about like the idea of promoting the Niagara region's music first and foremost, because again, we're huge music nerds and we used to be going to like so many concerts a week.
Before COVID, we went to 3 or 4 a week and we can't do that anymore.
And there's so much diverse and wonderful music in Niagara that we were like, hey, we should try to figure out a way to like, I think we want to do videos first.
That's what I was going to say. So what happened was when we first met, I had like a blog and I wrote about music a lot, but we both separately wanted to do like a video site or a web series, I guess, interviewing bands, especially from Niagara, but like interesting interviews in different, you know, places that you wouldn't expect to see an interview and things like that. So that was the plan. And as I was building the website, I was like, we don't have any videos right now, so I need to populate it with something. So I started writing some articles just to fill it in. So it was never supposed to be reviews or or written interviews. There were not supposed to be any articles or anything like that. But because that's what I did to populate the site, it sort of became that because we started doing some interviews and live recordings at our old house.
Our first interview was actually at Cicada with Joey Landreth.
Yeah, that was fun.
And Fred Penner.
Yeah. But so we were doing some interviews and we had people come to our house and do live performances. And then we also had the ones like Rob Baker and Justin Rutledge. And then COVID happened. Yeah. So we had to stop doing that. So we leaned heavily into articles, written interviews, reviews, as much online we could do without having to be in person. And then it was around COVID too that we launched the PR side of things, which is just sort of an offshoot of From the Straight, because I already had a marketing business. So we just took all of the things that we know about marketing. I took all of the previous music PR knowledge I had and the knowledge from running the site because I knew the mistakes that people were making when they were submitting. So we started the PR side of things. So
I think
we do a lot of stuff.
We do. The PR aspect of things is like, to me, is the coolest thing as a musician, seeing it on like both sides, because you pay somebody to do your PR most of the time. And what we were seeing is when it was getting submitted to us, like the mistakes and the sheer lack of fucks that most PR people will give, and the musicians will never know, right? Because they're just basically, here's your money, do your thing, and then give me updates when you have them. But most of the times, these, the people that you know and love in this industry won't name names, are fucking awful at it.
There are some bad
So it's just a thing. We were like, man, like we've learned so many things of what not to do. That let's try and do the,
Focus was,
And she's great.
I don't want it's not a huge money making scheme because I love that you laugh because. A lot of indie bands are getting absolutely hosed by some. Like PR can be really expensive and it makes sense in a lot of aspects. But our goal was to make something indie friendly and customizable because when you're an indie musician, do you have a big budget? In most cases, no. But you should still be able to get proper PR or, have a shoe in the door. Foot in the door? Shoe? Not the foot, but the shoe. Just the shoe. So, so it's specifically geared to indie musicians and working with their budgets and giving them things that they can actually use, but not fucking them over. Because it's actually sad how many, there's some really good PR people. I'm not saying there aren't, but there's a few that get a lot of accolades because people don't know any better. And as someone who gets the songs submitted to me
from those people,
they're terrible and they do not care. So My problem is I care too much. So
True.
that's that side of things. And here we also started a label. So we have a lot of things. We have a problem.
Well, going back to the PR side of things, it's funny because, like, as somebody in an indie band, the amount of random, it's like, I guess it's probably because we've put our email out there in the world, but like the amount of random emails that I will get from like
They're
a
all scams.
person, and they're like, yeah, if you give us this money, we will promote your single. And then you go like, okay, like, let me do the work. I guess I'll deep dive on this. And you go to their handle, and like, I don't want to be like Joe Blow, like I'm famous or something like that, but like their promotional account will have less followers than I do as a weekend radio announcer. Like,
The
I'm like,
scams are insane. Like I've had a lot of clients that they'll email me and say, look, I got this great message from this person and blah, 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 blah. And is this real? Is this real? I'm like, pretty much, especially if a manager or a PR company or anything emails you and says, oh, we found your song, enter your name here. It's great. We really think we can help you. No one is going to email you that. No legitimate business is going to email you because they shouldn't have to. That's not how it works. So yeah, there's so many scams and people fall for them and send off their money. It's essentially giving money to a Nigerian friend in a lot of cases. So he's really good at PR. So, yeah,
the classic
it's a
chains.
sad business sometimes, the amount of people that want to scam musicians for all of their money.
Before we get to the label side of things, maybe you each can give me one answer for this. What is like the number one thing? And again, this is almost like soliciting free advice. So answer as you choose. But
I love to give free advice.
Okay, so what is like the number one thing that you see from the average indie band that is like a big no mistake? What is like one thing that you both would say to a band and be like, hey, if you guys are going to send out a single, you guys are going to do some kind of release, what are the mistakes that everyone seems to be making that should be avoided, that are easy to avoid?
Actually, I have three. Sorry, actually,
go for it.
Can I just do one real quick, because I know yours is very much more
cool.
Yeah, I would just say, just know your expectations. Like,
that's good.
Don't think that you're going to be in fucking Rolling Stone or Spin or these, you know what I mean? Like, you're not all of a sudden, because you put out a song, like, there's so many people think that it's going to get heard by all these people, and it's just not the way, especially if you're a brand new band. You're like, yeah, this song is great, and it should be in Rolling Stone, and it should be on Stake Opportunities and all these other things. It should be on Hits FM. And
it's good to be excited about your music, but you also have to realize that there are millions of songs being uploaded every day now, and that's who you're in direct competition with. Like, for example, I get hundreds of emails a day for From the Street. And I'm not shitting you, hundreds of emails a day.
I'm going to yield the floor, because that was mine. Just temper your expectations. But
well, no, you got me on these.
Yeah,
okay, so
totally.
my three, that is a good one, and that would have been my fourth. One is, a lot of bands don't understand their genre. And as much as categorizing your music sucks and nobody wants to do it, when it comes to doing a press push, you have to, because it makes it a lot easier for the people that you're submitting to. So it's good to have an idea of what your main genre is, for example, alt rock, and then some subgenres for each song. Just have a general idea. You can ask me, you can ask your friends. Just I don't like when people are like, I don't know what this is, so, whatever.
Tell me what you think it is.
What would you say it is? The second thing that I hate, that makes me crazy, is making bands or PR people or managers that make it hard for me to find or share their music. So they'll send me a pitch, and maybe it's, 5 pages of how they became a human, and there's no links. There's nowhere to listen to the song, or they don't follow up with streaming links, things like that. It makes it a lot harder, because none of the curators that you're sending to have the time to go searching your name and try to find your stuff, or sometimes you get your dates wrong. So send your streaming links after the song is out, and make sure that you have all the information needed in your email. And that's kind of the third thing, is like, be prepared. Preparation is so important. Have everything ready. Have your bio, have your, quotes and notes about the song, have your photos ready. Ideally, one landscape, one portrait, and then go from there. Have all your links available, all your socials available. Like, the more info that you have in a pretty little package, the easier it is for somebody to share. Like, that's essentially what I do when I'm working on a new campaign. I'm collecting all of this information from a band, and I'm packaging it together and making it, press worthy. Yeah, press ready.
So I actually thought you were going to mention because she complains about this all the time, and I get this too. but not nearly as much as her. It's when people who don't follow your band, don't follow your page, don't follow you, will just send you a random, like, no message, just a link to their music.
Yeah.
Or here you go. And you're like, well, fuck me. Thanks for that gift. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and some of it is great, I'm sure, but like without any explanation, it's just like, bam, here you go, man.
For me, I think the worst is that, like, if you go to From the Straight's Instagram, the pinned post at the very top, the first thing you see is that how to submit. And then it explains, and there's a link in the bio with a page that explains how to get a hold of me, what to send me, yada, yada, yada. And it also says, do not send me messages on my personal Facebook, my personal Instagram, or our From the Straight Instagram. So we get messages on Instagram from somebody who doesn't follow, and they're like, here's my song. I think you'll like it. Okay, but this isn't how we accept submissions. Well, how do you? How am I supposed to know? You had to go to the page in order to send me that message, so it's right there. But so for me, it's if somebody can't be bothered to even find out how we like to be submitted, then I don't really want to spend the time, you know, writing up a review and giving you a lot of promotion, because it just feels like there's no respect. And there's a lot of people who are very disrespectful. That's a whole different thing. There's a lot of musicians who are assholes.
I totally get it, because like even the amount of times that I've just had a cold DM of like, here's our music, and it's like they won't even necessarily mention like the radio station or anything like that. They'll just send like their tour flyer, and I'm like, are you inviting me to the show? What am I doing with this? Right? Just give me some kind of information that I can go off of.
They expect that you should be grateful that they sent that to you. And I've gotten that before. I've had some really nasty people like, well, the music's good, so you should want to write about it. Cool, but also I don't write about that genre, which you would know if you went to the site. It's so simple, but that's how you weed them out. It actually makes my job easier. Well, I don't have to listen to that one, I guess. Those are many, many tips, not just one.
Nice.
A lot of bitching.
Well, they're useful. Like, I know that it comes from sometimes a place of annoyance, but that is like useful things that if bands aren't having the conversation, you got to have those conversations, especially younger bands. Like, it's so easy to make those mistakes. Like, I think that's all of that is really useful advice.
And it might not occur to everybody.
Last thing before we get to the playlist side of things on the show here, and that is the labels. What's the going on with the label? Why start a label? And what does having a label really mean in 2026 at this point?
We started it with our first single just because, I mean, I guess because we wanted to.
Honestly, I think the idea was we wanted to be able to, how can I put it?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of because I mean, obviously every indie dream is Sonic Onion or Dine Alone or something like that. Like everyone's got these great acts. But for us, it was just like, we love music, and music that really speaks to you. There's a time where you're like, fuck, I would love to work with this particular artist from the jump. I want to help them through all of this. I believe in this artist, and you know what I mean? I think that it's kind of how it started through. And and it also always helps as being when you're uploading your stuff to DistroKid and CD Baby and stuff like that, sometimes just having an indie label attached to it just is just gets you a couple of inches further than maybe just nothing at all, you know?
Yeah. I think also, as far as our label, it was an offshoot of the PR, because since it's so indie budget based, there are a lot of things that we can't do because it would become so much more expensive. So with Swear Word, it's, A to Z doing everything. We have access to all the accounts. We do full radio push. We do, pretty much anything and everything as far as up distribution, etc., all of it. So that was our way of being able to do more. So right now, I mean, really, it's your other band, our band, and then a band called Triple Indoor, because it's awesome.
But there's also I think sometimes for us there's that wish to be, again, it's because we're also poor as shit. So I mean, it's not like we've got a whole lot of money to invest. I'd love to be able to be yeah, man, we'd love to come in and record you and do the whole thing, the old Sony used to do and all
the way it used to be.
Yeah. And press your records and stuff like that. But it's, it's just not feasible for us. But I mean, there's so many artists that we've come across that have been like, fuck, man, I love
just want it. What we want is you make the music and we will control everything else. Cause so many people don't know what to do or don't want to do that part. So we will happily do it for music that we believe in. And I think the funny thing about labels and people that want to be signed and things like that, most people don't realize how labels work. They think that a label gives you a bunch of money and pays for all of your studio stuff and everything going on, and then you make money after that. No. They're putting like a down payment on you that they will get back once you are making money. So it's not what most people think. It's weird, the wild ideas that people have, but no, they're making their money back on you. So,
it's a bank loan, right? It's a mortgage.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't just give you that money expecting not to get it back. And if they don't get it back, that's when you really get in trouble.
Yep. That's when you lose it. Yep. Yeah. So it also became a music marketing thing because not every band, like we can't sign every band because again, we can't put a bunch of money into a band that isn't going to make money. So the music marketing side means that they can just pay for that full A to Z marketing
like
push.
It would be amazing to be like, altruistic and just put out, people's music and let us cover the cost. Would be fucking fantastic. Yeah. And if I was independently wealthy, 100% I would do that because
anybody want to
we love music so much and we love independent artists and ones that hustle and stuff like that. So, but unfortunately that's just, we don't have daddy money.
We don't have daddy money. Sorry, Dad.
We all have the same dream. I feel like, especially like it's so, I'm in the same boat. I'm going through it right now with the band, like trying to figure out, I feel like we're behind on like our SoCan stuff. And I'm like, okay, we got to get all the rights sorted out. And then like, I'm the only member with a SoCan account, but we all write. And I'm like, guys, I got to get to do this so you get paid and get your fair share.
And right? SoCan has changed now. So since you're a Mac guy, you might have a hard time.
Yeah, the new portal's a little clunky, I've noticed, but
I don't like it, but I got in, but I don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm literally like going back to try to like edit credits right now and like stuff that we've done, and it's not fun. There's a lot of advantages to being on a label and a lot of headaches that as an artist you can avoid, but
someone else to do it for you.
That all costs money.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dream, right? You just make the music and somebody else does everything else. I mean, I like doing a lot of the things, obviously, but I like some of the admin work. But yeah, most people, music is what you're good at. The other stuff is not for everyone. So leave it to someone else to do.
I think that's it. We're also just doers, right? Like we enjoy doing the random tedious stuff. Like I love radio pitching and being that guy that's like, hey, you should listen to this song.
I love a project, and that's pretty much what every PR campaign is a project, and
Yeah, I think that's what's, and again, that's kind of what makes us, in my opinion, a good PR company is that we actually give a shit and we actually like the success of the artists that we're working with. Like we get jazzed on. We're fucking right, man. Like Yeah. Anyway.
All that to say is we're cool. We're not losers at all.
All that to say is that if there's artists out there struggling with that side of thing, especially located down here in Southern Ontario, we know the people to reach out for help on. But here. I guess the first thing we've got to get into on terms of playlist side of things, because the show is all about making playlists and exploring the lost art of the mixtape, CD, and all that.
Love it.
I got to ask, when was the last time that you guys made a playlist either for yourself, for somebody else? I know From the Straits got a few playlists out there as well, right?
So every day, yeah. Every day I'm shuffling.
Yes.
Yeah. Every day.
I literally made one like a week ago.
Yeah, we are very much playlist people. Like, I was thinking about it today because I was, thinking about the podcast, and like, my musical existence is because of mixtapes. I grew up on the mixtapes that my older sister made me, and I still have them. I still hear the track list in my head. Like if I hear a certain song, I expect the next one that was on the playlist. And then, then she made me mix CDs. And then once, music streaming happened, I don't know if you probably wouldn't remember Rdio. Rdio was the best one before Spotify. And I made the most painstakingly curated playlists on that, and then they went under, and I had to switch to Spotify, and I couldn't get the same playlist, and it didn't work out. So I haven't quite caught the magic again, but yeah, I've spent years of my life putting into perfect playlists, perfect genre playlists, perfect mood playlists, perfect nostalgia playlists, perfect playlists for people. But you know that I don't think you and I have ever made playlists for each other.
Oh.
Right? Where's the romance?
There's some brewing there. I got a new either gift or Valentine's Day plan, anniversary present. There you go. The plan's already made for you.
If we made playlists for each other, they'd probably have mostly the same songs. True. So, I mean, I guess it's the
same bands at least, yeah.
The same bands, yeah. It'd be generally the same. So, whatever. So, yes, we make them constantly, but we're ready to make another.
All right, well, let's go back and forth on this one. So rather than having like 24 songs total, I'm going to draw one song superlative out of the trusty David Bowie Vans hat here.
Cool.
And
good hat.
It is a great hat. I'm so glad that I've turned it into this podcast prop here. And
we have David Bowie everything all over the place because
nice.
Our band name is a David Bowie lyric.
Yeah, I wondered about that, and I've got like basically the same tattoo. I've got my sweater on, so it's kind of buried, but
cute. Tattoo bros.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us all have that same one, especially after his passing. I think that was like the most popular tattoo for a year.
Yeah, I only get annoyed when people are like, "Oh, the Flash." I'm like, no, not the Flash.
I've not got that yet, but I think it's because I have like the script of it says Rebel underneath mine, okay. So people are like, "Oh, okay, Bowie," and get it that way.
That makes more sense.
All right, let's start with one for Kris here. And it is, very appropriately, I need a song with a female singer. So whatever the first one that comes to your brain that you want on the playlist, that's what we're going with.
Well, I think because I can see my image there and I can see my Kill shirt and I can see the amazing Alison Moss heart on my chest, I'm going to go with the Kills. But what's God? That's so tough.
I will say, if anybody needs to check their phone for a song title or anything like that, that is totally allowed during the show. I know you guys are recording on a phone, but that might jam you up. But yeah.
I'm going to go with DNA by the Kills.
DNA by the Kills. All right.
I like that. I was trying to do things different. I'm trying to not do what you think I'm going to do.
That's why this is going to be fun too, because like when I have multiple guests in the same episode, it kind of like you get like a blended mix together, which is nice. So, all right, for Nolan, we need a song by your favorite band or artist.
Oh man,
Kitsch.
That is so hard.
I know who you used to say was your favorite, aside from David Bowie.
That's going to be a tough one. Yeah, I would probably go. I would go Revelate by The Frames, an Irish band called The Frames, who are just outstanding.
Okay.
They don't get a lot of love, but their lead singer's solo work, his name's Glenn Hansard, and band people love him to death. But his old band, The Frames, is amazing.
Do most people not know Glenn Hansard?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. Who knows?
Glenn, like, is he more like Irish folk music with his solo stuff?
Yeah. I know.
A little bit, yeah. But he's also like best friends with Eddie Vedder. Pearl Jam takes him on stage, on tour, and he's like a musician's musician. And in fact, like I think even Bono had said that like every Irish musician wants to be Glenn Hansard. Like he might be the biggest, but they all want to be Glenn Hansard. Yeah.
I feel like I know Glenn from the like. I can't remember what the context of what it was, but I know YouTube did like a Disney movie or like interview with Letterman or something. And I think Glenn plays like in a little like pub get together thing with Bono and Edge during it or something like that.
That tracks,
so,
yeah.
I think that's why they know the name.
He won an Oscar too for, he had another band for this movie that he did called The Swell Season, and it was Falling Slowly, won the Oscar a couple of years ago. And also a great song. Right. So there you go. The Frames.
The Frames.
All right. I like it. Something to discover for me. Something new to me. All right, Kris, back to you. And it's a good vacation song, which I don't even know if I don't think I've had any of my guests get that one yet, to be honest. Maybe.
I haven't been on a vacation in, I don't know, a decade. Shit, what do people listen to on vacation? My God, I have no idea. Help me.
Kokomo?
Kokomo?
Walking on Sunshine. I just assume like puppy stuff. I don't know. Don't worry, be happy.
See, that's the thing is that like these questions are fun because like, okay, yeah, you could go interpret it as sunny things, but sometimes some people go on vacation. All they want to do is listen to like their favorite songs as opposed to regardless of whether.
Okay, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, to remind me of trips up north with my family when I was a kid, I'm going to say Fleetwood Mac, The Chain.
Great pick. Great pick.
I should have gone with a more obvious song, but that one is my favorite, so. Fleetwood Mac.
I think it's a great, and like, again, that going, like having a song and a musical memory that ties to vacations like that. That's what I'm looking for. I like that answer. All right.
Well, I used to make a mixtape for my trips up north, so that tracks.
Yeah, no, you get that.
Yeah.
All right, Nolan.
Well done.
Back to you, and I need a song from the 2010s.
2010s. Just one? I guess I'd have to find out. Let's go with. Is Hill of Thief, I think, 2010? I think it is, right?
Hail to the Thief. Who's your coolest?
Yeah, I guess.
So you didn't like me.
I'm gonna check the phone because I just want to see the dates.
I was looking for my phone, wanting to check, and I realized that's what we're recording on. So I'm gonna have to use you for a reference if something is too hard for me.
I was gonna say, yeah, just double check it, or if you need me to Google something too. But
I'll get check.
Yeah, I might do that one. I'm gonna switch it up. You know what, Vince? I'm gonna go Let's All Go to the Bar by Deer Tick.
Wow, I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah.
So again, a kind of band that I remember seeing the name of a million times, but I've not listened to. Besides Let's All Go to the Bar, what's like a good starting point, entry point for Deer Tick?
What's the first song that I like? We saw them live a few times. I don't think I knew them the first time you took me to see them, and they're also a band that's so all over the place.
Yeah, they're very genreless, but like I think just even that whole record is from Divine Providence. The Bump is the first one. Funny Word. That whole record. They put out after that was Negativity. Dreams in the Ditch. Oh yeah, Dreams in the Ditch. Check that one.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah. Dreams in the Ditch.
Nice.
They're very fun live as well.
Yeah, they're just like I mean, I don't know if they still are. They're very just a bar band. They're like I don't know. They're kind of like the Headstones, but in that bar vibe of like they're perfect setting for a bar. But yeah, well, Deer Tick.
Right.
I'm actively trying to push a promoter into letting us open for Deer Tick at the Opera House in Toronto, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm trying.
Hey, you never know. Unless you ask and try, then you never know.
You're right. That is absolutely correct.
All right, Kris, we're going back to you with a song for the Stoners.
It's funny because when you said Stoners, my brain went Queens of the Stone Age.
Which totally works.
Also does work. Okay. Which one? I'm going to go with In the Fade by Queens of the Stone Age because it features Mark Lanigan.
Yes.
And he is my favorite. So that's two birds getting stoned at once for me.
Nice.
And Mark Lanigan sure did like to be stoned.
Did like to be stoned, yeah.
Yes, he did.
I thought you were going to go get the...
I know, but I'm trying to go with the not so obvious ones. So,
you want it to be exploratory in a way, right? Like, everybody knows no one knows. Everyone knows all these other songs, right? So, fair enough. All right. This one is one I love to ask people, but it sometimes can jam them up. So, Nolan, I've got sports intro song. So, for context, like if you were walking up to the mound, coming out of the bullpen, or if you're walking up to the plate playing for the Jays or whatever, and you're going to hit a home run, that's your song. Or if you're into wrestling, it's your wrestling entrance music. What's your sports intro song?
We have this conversation all the time. I have mine. I thought you had one.
Not necessarily, but I will say, first off, the guy who comes out to Korn's Blind is outstanding. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes.
Outstanding. So great. Like the perfect tune to come out onto the mound to. And then shout out to Neo Wrestling for you because they used actually our song, The New Scene, as their soundtrack for quite a while, which is
for a few years.
Amazing. Which was like a huge dream come true because not gonna lie, not gonna hide it. I'm a huge wrestling nerd. I love it, and I'm a huge fan. So I'm gonna go as far as like best songs to come out to. I'm gonna go with Cult of Personality then, from Punks. Yeah.
Do you remember what that?
It's just so great to come out to, and he just killed even Engage. The last one he had, this Fire Burns. What the hell was that? Killswitch Engage? Was that the one?
Who had Killswitch Engage?
Punk had that before, but yeah, I'll go with Living Color.
But go on.
Cult personality.
That's a good one. It's pretty iconic. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Next one on the playlist, we've got I Need a Song. I need your favorite ballad.
Okay.
That's a tough
And it's
one.
kind of a good spot for it. You know, track seven's always the ballad, usually on the album, right?
Can you go to my playlist and find my Stab Me With a Ballpoint Pen playlist?
Sure.
That's my sad songs.
Iconic name.
It's
That's
part of the mixtape thing, though, right? You have to have fun names to go with it that maybe other people might not understand. Okay.
Yeah, I think my emo sad boy playlist is like "See Ya at the Wake, Bro." I'm pretty sure is what mine's called. So I appreciate that.
There's a lot of good.
Okay, shit, man. Oh, man. Oh, okay. I don't know if it counts as a ballad, though. Do you think that? Because it makes me sad. The song, I don't think is a ballad, but it makes me, like, I think I remember when we first started dating, I was telling you that I was cleaning my house and I had this song on really loud and I was weeping. And I don't know why, but what?
No, I was
Oh,
glad. I
okay,
remember this. No, I remember that particular conversation.
So I don't know if it counts as a ballad, so maybe you can tell me, but it's Radiohead, How to Disappear Completely.
I think you could count that.
It makes me weep. Does that not mean that it's a ballad?
I think a ballad is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I think like particularly there's songs that just evoke an emotion that like is especially if it's melancholy, it can be a ballad. I mean, I think that conversation was for me. I think it was weirdly, it was a Counting Crows song, but not a ballad. It was Recovering the Satellites.
I think we were talking about how it was weird. The songs that made us cry were songs that you would not expect and that no one else would understand. Yeah. And again, this is why we are together.
There you go.
Music weirdos. Yeah.
Well, it's communication through music, right? I mean, like, I think that totally makes sense for feeling that way and being able to relate to each other in that way, right? So, to me, I think a ballad is whatever you make it to be, and I think whatever makes you feel emotional can qualify as a ballad. There was somebody picked a really upbeat song for a ballad, and I was like, I'm gonna let it slide, but definitely not exactly what I was aiming for, but I'll take it.
I'm not judging, but up your mitts.
But you're wrong.
Yeah, right? Exactly. All right, back to you, Nolan, and it is going to be a song for the snow, which hopefully we're done with for now.
Oh, man. Song for the snow.
And you mean snow, not cocaine.
No, like the actual wintertime snow.
You know what? I'm going to look it up because I have a specific memory of this band. Yeah, I think it's...
You're coming out of left field here. I like it.
Yeah. I think that it's gonna be Crystallized or VCR. I don't know which one. Yeah, let's say VCR by the XX.
Okay.
This, just for context, I remember. So I used to be a flight paramedic with Orange years ago, and I remember one of my first calls. I ended up getting turfed for a respiratory therapist doctor because we had a patient that was like critical condition sort of thing. So, but they dumped me in the middle of fucking winter time in Hearst, Ontario, where everything was closed at like 3 a.m, and they couldn't get a plane back up to pick me up until like 6 a.m. So I had 3 hours to kill. No taxis, no stores open or anything like that. So I literally was on the airstrip, and it started snowing, and I had that in my headphones, and I was like, wow, this is a very depressing vibe, but there was something that was just so like sweet about it because at least I had music in my ears. Yeah, I don't know. That's a song that band particularly reminds me of that.
That is a pretty crazy story, to be honest.
It was literally like, it was just like literally I'm on an airstrip in the middle of Hearst, Ontario. No one around me for miles and miles and miles, and it's just open sky because, of course, the planes have to land there. So, yeah, just very dark, and the snow's falling, and I got the XX in my head. So, yeah,
love it.
Trying not to lose my toes.
Cinematic. All right,
That's all right.
Back to Kris. We've got for you a song with a male singer.
Oh, yeah.
At first, I was like, "Oh, I'll do one of yours," but you know what? I'm not gonna. Because that feels like it's too promotional for me.
More of a crooner.
I'm going to say something that currently is super trendy and it's weird. And I'm talking about Deftones because it's still weird to me that Deftones is trendy now because I've been a fan for like 30 years. Okay. And all of the people that used to make fun of me for liking Deftones are now like, they're my biggest inspiration. I've listened to them my whole life. Dude, you made fun of me when I was a kid for liking them. So no, you didn't. So I'm going to throw it back to my favorite Deftones album, which is Around the Fur. And we're going to go with Mascara from Around the Fur. Deftones.
Nice. Good pick.
Fairly expected. I mean, I'm pretty sure when you heard male vocals, you were like, yeah, probably.
I knew it was going to Kino, yeah.
Okay. Sorry. You were number 2. Even though my favorite vocalist is Mark Lanigan, but we've already got him.
It's hard, right? Like, you start clicking these off. I always get that too, where like people will text me after the show and be like, I should have answered this for that or whatever.
That's what I was saying to him earlier. I'm like, I know as soon as we're done, I'm going to say, oh shit, I wanted this and this and this. I made a mistake. Can we redo it? That's, It's hard.
It is hard. A song you think is underrated, Nolan?
Man, there's a lot of that. I guess I guess it can be anything, right? So I'd go for bands that like nobody knows. I'm going to say, man, it's a toss up between, I'm going to go with a guy. We just did PR for a guy that like, I wish that another instance in where I wish that like his record had come to us earlier, where we could have like put him on the label, but he goes by the moniker Birthday Squirrel.
Frolic from Toronto.
And he put out a song called Mark Maron was probably the single from it. But I'm going to go with the lead-off track of his, is it Did You Ever?
Did You Ever
Yeah, that tune. Like, it's one of those, one of those indie records that you're like, how the
it's so good.
Is he not meant?
Yep. And I'm not saying this as somebody who, like, he's a client and he's an old friend of mine, but definitely check out this album. I swear to you, it is so good. I think I said it was like Hayden meets Tom Petty meets indie rock. Like, it's really good. So if you like music, check out Birthday Squirrel.
Did You Ever? It's so the whole record from beginning to end is outstanding. But the tune, I remember I first heard it and I was like, God damn! Like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, this dude's, he's got it, man.
Talented dude. Yeah. Shout out to Mike. Hi, Mike.
I like that. Going on the list for me, I've got like my new albums, my Discovery playlist, so that's going on there for sure.
That's what I have. Mine is 8 hours long. I'm not kidding. I keep adding to it because I can't take songs off of it.
I know. I'm always like, how many times should I listen through to something? That actually might be a good question for both of you to answer, just in general, is how many times does it usually take you to listen to a song or an album before you're like, okay, I like this. This is good. Because I find personally, like, yes, there are definitely some outliers that like the minute you hear it, you're like, wow, this is crazy. But sometimes it's around that like third time through mark where I'm like, wow, okay, this album or this artist this is for me. This is definitely something that needs to be in my regular rotation.
I don't think there's any real answer to that because it totally depends on the album. I mean, there are some albums that you listen to and you are just immediately just obsessed with right away. Sometimes I love a slow burn album. I think there's when you're just discovering more parts of it and then certain songs are growing on you and you're like, I didn't even know if I liked this one at first and then suddenly it's my favorite. Like, great example again, I'm going to bring it up again, is Radiohead's The Moonshake Pool. Most people do not care for that album. And at first it sounds boring and it's, not the usual Radiohead stuff, but for me, I became super obsessed with it and I listened to it over and over and over and I have the songs in my head all the time. It's just a really beautiful record, but super slow burn. Like, you really had to take time to get into all the cool parts of it, but it's not a smack you in your face, holy shit, this is great. So every album's kind of different. Sorry.
No, I think, honestly, 2 or 3 is probably, the max where I realize that I'm either I'm gonna fuck with this, or I'm not gonna waste my time with it anymore, kind of thing, right? Like, and even now, like, I don't even think I give it that many turns, sadly, like,
because there's so much music.
I mean, I have ADHD as it is, and it's hard enough to stay focused. But I do know that, like, when I hear something and I'm like, that was good, and that, fortunate or unfortunately, I mean, we hate Spotify, but I use Spotify because it's
the algorithm knows.
The algorithm knows most of the time, and I'm lazy as shit to change. But I will say that, like, the bonus of that, at least, is I can, like, if I catch something that I like, I can go back, skip backwards, and be like, what was that?
Yep.
Favorite it, keep it in there, sort of thing. But yeah, I think records, though, I miss that. I really do miss the records when we were younger. Like,
I miss liner notes.
Yeah, or like, the band would have a record and then you wouldn't hear from them. They'd put out the record to the tour and then you wouldn't hear from them, like, for 2-3 years.
Yeah, and there's also no social media, so you had no idea what
mystery.
Yeah. Bands need more mystery. We're just gonna stop posting forever.
That's it.
Okay, we're gonna go away for a while.
Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of in the same boat where it's like, man, just just I'm done. Like, you drop the album and you come through for a tour. Like, I don't want to hear from you for a little bit. Like,
Take
it's
a
just
vacation, bro.
you've earned it, but it's like you
Yeah.
can't stop the machine, right? And
No, the
even
machine will not allow it.
even just like how you release music, right? Like the idea that like for us, like we're trying the next approach or on this approach that we're on right now of just dropping singles, because like we did the 3 songs together at the same time, but we're like, do we do another EP? Well, we're not going to put it out on vinyl. I don't think we're going to do a physical release. So like, let's just drop them one by one and see what happens that way. But like,
Yeah.
it's so hard.
There's no right way to do anything anymore. Everyone thinks
Yeah.
that there is, but
Yeah.
just do what makes you happy. That's
it, man.
if it makes you feel at all like joyful, do it.
Yep. And there's so many, I can go on tangents, but like, I love some artists that are crazy prolific, even though he's long since canceled or whatever, but like Ryan Adams in the early 2000s sort of thing. But like, it seems like he was writing a record like every 2 weeks, a new record kind of thing. And you know what I mean? But the label would be like, you got to stop, bro. We can only put out one at a time. And Beck used to be the same way, I guess. He had like a crazy, he had like one of the best deals with Geffen where they were like, you can release as much as you want, as long as you just keep like the best stuff for the major, for the Geffen release. And, man, like that's kind of where we're at now, where I guess there is no rules for a lot of artists. You finish something, fuck it, put it up.
Totally. Yeah.
Yep. All right. We've got, I think we're down to just 2 songs left on the playlist. So this is your final one, Kris, and it is a song from the best concert you ever saw.
Me?
Yeah.
Is it me? Oh shit. Best concert I ever saw. Oh no. Oh god. Okay. For what's the best one? I don't want to go with any band that I've already said, so I'm not going to say Deftones. I'm not going to say Radiohead. It's funny that you say Beck, because that was a great concert. What's the best concert?
We saw Beck on his 50th birthday.
Yeah, it was a great.
Nice.
What's the best show that I've ever seen? I can't even think of any. So many. Okay.
Rage?
I was going to say maybe. Yeah, let's go Rage. Okay. I will say Rage Against the Machine. Oh no, Crosses was good too.
Oh, that's true.
You know what? I'm going to go Crosses. I'm sorry. Bermuda Locket. Or the one with what's his face. You know what? I'm just going to Crosses Bermuda Locket. That's what we're going to do.
Okay. Yeah. Crosses, eh? Okay, another band that's
Chino
somewhat...
project, that's cheating a bit, but...
Yeah, but it's still new to me, so I appreciate it. So I like that.
Okay.
I don't think I've heard much of Crosses if I've ever listened to any of their stuff, so...
It's different, but it's still Chino. But yeah, they've got some good stuff. They're a 2-person band. That's true. Yeah. True enough.
Very appropriate then. All right, Nolan, let's close it out with the last one's going to be from the batch. A song featuring your favorite drummer or drum performance. Time to shout out the drummers.
Who's your favorite drummer?
I mean, it's clearly ours.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Jay. Man, it's a tough one. Yeah. All right, give me a second.
This is a good game you've got going, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I know. I like to stump people, and it's good to like. I try to open it up because like not everybody always has like one true favorite. That's why I was like, well, just think about like your favorite performance, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, like I don't know if I could pick one drummer, but like I can think of a drum moment or something like that where I'm like, yeah, that's the stuff.
I guess I'm gonna like it's probably super obvious, but I mean, probably The Grudge by Tool.
Sure.
I mean, Danny Carey, you can't go wrong with.
Yeah.
I guess he's okay.
Yeah. Man, that is hard because I'm trying to think of like shouting out like I don't know, even like pop stuff like Topher. Is it Topher? The guy who plays with Jason Mraz is like a really good drummer. Carter Beauford. Oh my god. Yeah, let's go Danny Carey. Danny Carey's the easy one, I think. Yeah, he's the obvious one.
I like it.
That was some Tool.
Perfect. All right, we've got a full playlist, and it kicks off with The Kills, DNA. We've got The Frames on there, The Chain, Fleetwood Mac. We've got Deer Tick with Let's All Go to the Bar. We got some Queens of the Stone Age for the Stoners, Cult of Personality and Live in Color for our sports intro song honoring CM Punk. I like that. We've got How to Disappear Completely, Radiohead, VCR, The XX, Mascara, Deftones, Did You Ever, shout out Birthday Squirrel. We got Crosses and Tool to end it off. That's a pretty adventurous playlist.
It's pretty
I
good.
like
It's
that.
very us. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
That's us. In and out.
Well, I like it. I think that's what I was hoping for. I wanted something that would be truly representative. I kind of figured with you guys doing it together that it would be more aligned. You know, I think sometimes when I have these group interviews, like I've got somebody on who's like really a pop punk person or somebody who's really into this genre or that genre, and then you get this really mishmashed thing.
Mhm.
But yours is definitely, I would say, very concise, very, very much new to me. There's a lot of new to me stuff on there, so I appreciate that.
That's what makes a good playlist too.
It's true.
New stuff.
Discovery,
sometimes,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some classic old stuff and some new stuff.
When you check out the frames, by the way, check out the live record set list. It's outstanding. That's probably the best version of Reveille, but it's
Don't give him too much homework.
I know, but I'm just remembering that it's not the best quality recording for the studio, but the live one is outstanding. So
I do a lot of dog walking, so I don't mind having homework. It's something to pass the time.
I'm a huge live record person too, so we already had this discussion.
we-
She's not, but I am.
Yeah.
I love live records.
I'm right there with you. I love a live record, especially around the house when you're like sitting down to do physical listening with a CD or with vinyl. Like, I just think there's nothing better than that. I know, like, when it comes out of nowhere on a playlist, it can be a little bit jarring.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting down
I
for like
want to
the
hear the crowd. That's
experience,
the whole thing. I don't like hearing a lot of wooing. I want to
Yeah.
hear the
I don't mind. I just don't like I don't like the edits. Like if the crowd noise is there and then the song skips to the next song and then there's like a new crowd sound and you're like, no. If I want it all to sound like
whole
feel like
experience.
one.
Yeah,
live.
one show. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
He makes sense.
all right. Well, there's one last portion of the show here, and that is the Desert Island Records. So I don't know if you each want to give me 5. Traditionally, we do 5 records. I think if each giving you 5 is probably going to be the most fair way to do it. And usually I just bring this on people as opposed to giving anybody their the heads up. So this is how I always know who's like a diehard and who's like actually listening because they're ready for it as opposed to me just springing it on them. I'm sure I'm springing it on you guys. So 5 Desert Island records, the records you can't live without. What are they? Who wants to go first?
I'm just going to say my phone's at 17%. It's supposed to be charging. So if this suddenly shuts off, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Are we doing 5 together?
No,
Is that what
we
we're
do five
doing?
of
Oh,
your-
shit.
yeah.
5
Okay.
individually, I think is fair, more fair.
Okay. I mean, I think I've already mentioned a couple. I'll say Deftones, Around Her.
Nice.
I will say
Oh.
Radiohead.
All
All
right.
you, buddy. All you.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a band called Gomez, Liquid Skin. Although I probably wouldn't for Liquid Skin.
I'm going to say Radiohead. I'm going to go In Rainbows instead of Kid A.
Nice.
Don't come at me.
I'm gonna have to go with Bowie. That's a hard one. I think if it's a desert island one. All right, I'm gonna go with Low.
Nice
Yeah.
pick. Good
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah.
I'm biased to that one. That one's a top 3 one for me. So
So good, right? Yeah. Because I can listen to it forever, so it's on the island with me.
Man, me again. I'm doing obvious ones, but that's just because that's what's popping up to me. Because if I was going very deep, this would be a long process. I'm going to say The Kills. Wow, big surprise. But I'm going to say Ash and Ice.
okay.
That is, I feel like people don't love that as much as they. I know it's because I can't decide between the other
That's
two.
good. That's good.
Go with Ash and Ice.
Nice.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Sleater Kinney. The center won't hold.
That's a
Nice.
good one. That's a good choice. Shit. Oh, let's see what that is. Alice in Chains. Which one? Which one?
It's your desert island. I'm biased, so.
Why? What are you biased to?
But which one I would pick?
Which one would you?
You go. You see. I'm not giving.
He doesn't want to ruin it.
That's right. I don't want to be influencing.
I'm just gonna say Dig.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Nice.
Dirt. Did I say Dig?
Yeah.
Dirt. See, you're fucking me up. Okay.
It's dirt.
I'm sweating.
Dirk.
Give me my thing back.
I'm gonna.
Time for the next one.
Okay. I'm gonna go. This is another one that sounds like easy, but I'm gonna go with Wilco Yankee Hotel Foxtrot.
Yeah.
That record is like that's the one.
I have one that I think we'll both like. Take some more Angel Dust.
Oh yeah. God damn. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Is that 5 and 5? Did we do it?
That is 5 for you, Chris. We got one more for Nolan.
Oh man.
These are my favorites. So
I know. I'm sure that some of them are on there anyway, though.
it's old. This is an old playlist. That's why it's got a lot of Jeff Buckley.
Yeah, but
Let's see. I need 20.
there's just too many. Shit. Let's say I'm gonna go with oh my god, Afghan Wigs. The gentleman, the name of the record, I think.
I think you're right. Yes.
I get it. I want to say it's.
I think you're right on that one.
Yep.
Yeah. I was.
Do it.
That is the gauntlet. You've made it through. We've got through the playlist. We got the Desert Island records. You guys crushed it. I know, right? To put the pressure on, but that's why this show is fun, and that's why I especially have fun as a host, and hopefully you've had some fun too.
I ask these questions of artists in interviews and stuff, and now I'm realizing, oh, that's terrible. I'm causing them so much grief. But no, it was great. I like it. Thank you.
Nice.
I've been easing the stress with this non-alcoholic beer, so it's nice.
There you go. Perfect.
Cool guy.
All right, well, I'm going to give you guys the floor here to wrap things up because you got a lot of things that you can and you should plug because Lonely Little Kitsch is getting busy. We've got Run the Straight that's busy, the label. Where does everybody keep up with what you guys have going on?
Messenger pigeons, mostly. You can follow us at Lonely Little Kitsch on all of the socials that we don't like to post to. From the Straight, same thing, at From the Straight on everything, and the site is fromthestraight.com. Like to read about mostly indie musicians, some bigger musicians, reviews and interviews, and yada yada yada, all things music and playlists. What else?
I mean, mainly the socials. I think that's the big one. Or you know what? Come see us at a show whenever we book a show.
We don't have any books.
Whenever we book a show, yeah. Yeah, man. Listen to our music, but other than that, you know what? Don't even listen to our music. Listen to like everyone else's music. Listen to Green and White Checkered.
Yep.
Listen to Real Kevin. Listen to The Record High. Okay Camper.
Camper.
Yeah, there's so many. So many good guys.
Go to our Songs from the Straight playlist, and you will find lots of local favorites. And I need to update it because some of the stuff's dated. But yeah.
Just listen to music.
Yeah, just listen to music. Give indie artists a chance.
I appreciate that sentiment. That is a good one, and that is a good place to leave it off. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out. There is Kris Goetz and Nolan Jodes of Lonely Little Kitsch on Let's Make a Playlist. Let's Make a Playlist is a podcast created, hosted, and produced by me, Jonathan Howe, for House Media. For additional content, links to the songs featured in this playlist, and more music writing, check out my Substack, House. There you can subscribe to get my blogs emailed to you for free, or if you wish to support my work, subscribe for $5 a month. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please rate, review, subscribe, or leave a comment with who you would like to see on Let's Make a Playlist in the future, and we'll be back with more playlists.